Into match number 2 we go now, and it's the two lucky losers going at it to try and get their first points on the board. Will it be Seattle? Will it be Madrid? We'll get into it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at the second match day. It is Seattle Sounders up against Atletico Madrid, who will get off to their best possible start and get their first points on their ball. We'll get into it, all of it in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, World Football, Club World Cup. We've got it all here under one Ruski. That's right, Madrid were just outdone by PSG. Seattle, a little bit unlucky against the Brazilians. But let's get into this one in just 1 second. Of course, big shout out to the members of the Patreons. You know who you are. So let's get into it then and have a look at what we're talking about. Talk about this, guys. It is Seattle. It is Atletico. And they're going to lock horns on the second round of matches. But let's remind ourselves of about Seattle Sounders and how they got to this point. Here they are in their fancy-looking badge. Qualified via the CONCACAF, of course, winners of the 2022 CONCACAF Champions League. They secured the spot back on the 14th of March 2023. This is their second ever appearance. The last one was back in 2022. The odds before we even kicked the ball was 3-1 to get out of the group, 100-1 to lift the trophy. And of course, my expectation was a group stage exit. Wow. We have cleaned up the squads. This is now the real official squad here for it. It's been trimmed down, scaled back a little bit, so we now know the squads. In fact, tell a lie, maybe we haven't cleaned these up, but regardless, with the likes of Stefan Frey there, we've got the likes of Stuart Hawkins, Nathan Tulo, Alex Roldan as well. Moving forward, the likes of João Paulo, Ryan Kent is in the mixer there, also Jesus Ferreira, amongst others. But this, on paper, is the most expensive possible lineup for Seattle Sounders. I'm not saying that this is what they'll play, but this is, if everyone was fit and ready to go, this is the cream of the crop for Seattle Sounders. We've got Frey between the sticks, Nuhu, Gomez at the back there, Reagan, Roldan, Vargas, another Roldan there. Brother from another mother, Morris, Rushnik, De La Vega, and Ferreira up top. What about, though, their resume so far? Of course, not the best possible start, losing to Botafogo just the other day. Now all focus switches to Atletico Madrid. I think the Botafogo game was basically the one they realistically had a chance to win, so it's now mission impossible, I would imagine, for Seattle Sounders. Then it's, of course, the red-hot favourites, PSG, at that moment. They currently find themselves in third in the group. They could technically be out of the groups, eliminated by match number 3. So a lot of pressure on this match, which does take place this coming Thursday. That's right. But what about the opposition? It is Atletico. And of course, they're here via the UEFA Confederation. They are the 6th best ranked eligible team of the span of the last 4 years. 16th of April 2024, they qualified. First ever appearance in this competition, 5-2. On was the odds for them to get out of the group, 14-1 to win the whole thing. My expectation, though, I did expect them to flop, and so far they look flopping material. I didn't expect them to tumble out at the group stages, but they're going to come at you with these guys, hoping to bounce back after the most difficult game. I think it was all expectations were that they would lose, and they did just do that. John Oblak between the sticks potentially. Clement Longley at the back. We also had a red card. The last one wasn't Le Normand, so he won't be available for this match. But maybe the likes of Alex Witsel could be involved. Meanwhile, midfielders Rodrigo De Paul, Conor Gallagher, didn't get to see him in action. Koke, and up top, likes of Julian Alvarez, Griezmann, Sorloth, and Correa. But on paper, this is the most expensive lineup if everyone's fit and raring to go. We've got Oblak, we've got Mandavar, we've got Jimenez, Lenormand, Loriente. Into the midfield, the likes of Gallagher, De Paul, Alvarez, Barrios, Simeone, and Sorloth. So a nice expensive looking squad there, but they're coming in with their tails between their legs after that 4-0 spanking by PSG. Of course, Seattle are next on the 19th of June. And then they wrap it up against Botafogo on the 23rd of June, which, of course, should be a cracking game at this moment. But it's must-win territory now for Madrid. Otherwise, they also could be eliminated. A draw could also see them they're at mission impossible themselves, depending on what goes on in the other game. But they currently find themselves bottom of the pile due to that heavy goal deficit from the champions of Europe. Let's take a look then at the match. It takes place on the 19th of June. The Lumen Field, yet to take on each other, these two sides. But coming into this, Seattle Sounders Spurs on the back of 3 successive defeats. A 42% form for them in all competitions, in all shapes and sizes. Madrid, though, under Diego Simeone, coming into this on 58% form. They've won 2 and they've lost 2 out of the last 4 matches. But, again, positions in the table is vital. Top 2 you go through. Currently, the bookies have 11-1 is your Seattle Sounders, 4-1 on is your Atletico Madrid, 9-2 is the draw. The public vote is fresh, very raw, but it is overwhelmingly going in favour of Atletico Madrid to win this game. 93% as of right now, 5% for Seattle Sounders, and the draw is, of course, 2%. As for me, though, yes, I am probably leaning towards, I'm actually drastically leaning towards the victory for Atletico Madrid. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win here. Statement result, maybe a bounce-back ability, and maybe something to give me food for thought, and maybe reconsider my prediction for them to be eliminated in the group stages. But I think, realistically, it was always going to be the Botafogo game for Atletico to see where the chips are going to lie. And at the moment, Botafogo look a contender to take him on. Anyway, that's it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions as we look forward to it. But until then, I'll see you soon when we return. Subscribe.